Hey y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the video. We're going to be playing with the Natasha Denona palette again, but I have sort of a look in mind that I kind of wanted to blend some like other palettes in there with hers, but I don't know, it's just a look that I have in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and start priming the face, and I'm using my Pores No More Luminizer Primer by Dr. Brandt. And for foundation today, because you can like barely see any of my body and my fake tannery is kind of coming off, I wanted to go with something a little bit more like my actual skin tone. Like my neck really isn't that tan anymore. So I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild. It's their Photo Focus foundation in Nude Ivory, and this is just a little bit white for me, so a little too light. So what I like to do is I will dot my face with all the product, and then I will go in with a slightly darker foundation, and then this other foundation that I mix in is the LA Girl Pro Coverage. I'll get out the name here in a minute. They all have the exact same name, I feel like, in different order. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation, and this is in the shade Fair, and this is just a little bit too yellowy for me. It would probably be a good in-between shade of self tanner and not, so I probably could have gotten away with just wearing this today, but I didn't. And I just dot this along where my face would normally be a little bit darker, like kind of like around the edges, like where I would contour or bronze. Okay, now I've buffed it all in, and I just kind of go over this with a beauty blender because just to kind of mold it all together sometimes when I use a brush it doesn't buff it in completely. And I'm going to go in with this ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is in light neutral. I believe that they've changed their shades to have different names, so I'm not 100% sure what this is called anymore, but oh, this is light 20, so I don't know if they still have the numbers on them, but they didn't reformulate, they added a bunch of new shades, so I think that added to it, and they have like a different process of how they pick them and everything. And I was on their Instagram the other day, and it said something along the lines of, you know, if you are light neutral or light 20, then this is your shade now. And she said the shade, and I don't even remember what it was, but I just remember it being a little bit different. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna use my number 7 translucent powder. This is my favorite powder. It's so finely milled, and it just gets right up where I need it to. And it doesn't, I have noticed that sometimes my Coty Airspun will break up kind of around my nose, like as the day goes on. That's the only flaw that I've ever found with it. It's got tons of product in it, but sometimes I feel like right in the middle of my face, and granted I don't use high-end foundations either. For some reason, setting powders and foundations or like something that I never buy like really expensive things in. Just I've always found good drugstore alternatives, so I've literally never even tried a bunch of high-end. I tried to Make It Forever one time, and it was so heavy, and it kept separating on the sides of my nose, which I hated. I could not figure out why my makeup looked so bad when I was wearing it. And I'm not saying it's a bad foundation, I'm just saying on me, my trouble area is right around my nose. And if I bought a drugstore foundation, I think the most expensive one I've ever bought has been like $15 or $16. That to me is a lot more excusable than, you know, me spending like $50 on one from like a high-end store or whatever, like Sephora or whatever. I mean, you can find them at Ulta too. but that doesn't make me as mad when it's just, you know, it's just a cheap alternative. So it makes sense why some of them would not perform as well as high-end. But then I know the Makeup Forever one has, I'll get it out here in a minute. The Makeup Forever one is really expensive, and for it to be breaking up that much around my nose when I have drugstore that doesn't do that, that kind of puts me off of that. And since then I don't know, I just rather spend my money on eyeshadow palettes. And at some point in time, I probably will do a collection tour, just because I always enjoy seeing those on other people. I know I've always said that this is going to be like tutorials only, but I do kind of want to try like a makeup tour kind of thing. I mean, my makeup room per se is like half of our spare room. And I say our because I still live with my parents, but it's like half of our spare room. So it's not really even a room for it, but I have like this whole setup in there, and I don't film in there, but just because in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, that's when I film, and it doesn't really have that much sunlight in there. It has amazing sunlight come like 4 or 5 p.m. Sometimes 6 when it gets to like this time of year. It's got that like beautiful like golden hour in there, and it looks great, and I really enjoy that. But I like getting ready with y'all in the morning. That's kind of how I've always filmed, and probably how I always will. I mean, hopefully at some point in time in my life I can have my own little setup in my own little house, but for now that's just no bueno. Okay, so I'm going in with the Natasha Denona Star Palette now. We're gonna focus on this before we do the rest. Probably. I don't know, I like to jump back and forth, honestly. So because we started with this side last time, I'm gonna focus on doing some this side. Now these pigments are super pretty, and I know I am gonna use them, but I want to incorporate some yellow in here. I don't know why, I just want to do some yellow. So we're gonna kind of switch back and forth. I have my Sephora Pro editorial, no, not editorial, the warm one. I have this one that we're gonna focus on some warmer shades with, some transition shades. I don't like the shimmers in this, I really don't. It just really irritates me. For some reason, every time I've used the shimmers in this palette, I just kind of go, that's the look that I could have done with this, really? So we're gonna focus on a couple shadows from Natasha. So to start off in the crease, I'm using the tone Flesh. That's a little weird for a star palette to call a tone Flesh, but whatever. You already know it's my little tiny crease brush because I like building up slowly. And I'm just going to pick this up and focus this in that middle. Building up, I'm gonna go in with this shade, Titania, which is this cooler brown shade. We actually did use this in the last tutorial, but kind of focusing more on this side anyway, and that's just like really good medium transition shade. Focusing this on more on the outside, kind of flicking it up through the crease up to about halfway. Okay, so now to continue, I'm gonna start building up with a yellowy shade. I did really want to use the Sephora Pro palette some more, and I don't even know what the shade is because I've lost a little insert that told me, but I'm going to pick up this shade right here, which is that mustard yellow. Oh, buddy. Okay. Okay, originally I was going to put this more in the crease, but my brush kind of did its own thing and it went all over the lid, and I don't hate it. It looks really good. What I'm gonna end up doing is the next shade that I'm gonna pick up is Earth. It's this brown shade right here. I'm gonna pick up that, and I'm gonna focus this on the outer corner of my eye. I'm gonna add even a little bit more darkness to this outer edge. I really like that earth color with it. But I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the black from the Sephora Pro palette. I'm gonna focus this on a smaller brush. And then flick up. Probably not even clean anymore, honestly. I don't know if there's any brushes in my collection that are clean. I need to clean them so bad. But I'm just gonna flick this brush. It doesn't have any added product. I'm just gonna flick it over the top. Really enjoying how this came out. I really wanna add some sparkle in the inner part of my eye. So, some glitter. I'm actually gonna try this first, and if it doesn't show up like I want it to, then I'll add some glitter glue. I'm going with Atria. It's this shade right here. It's this kind of like orangey gold. I'm gonna pick up Fairy from the Soft Glam palette. Someone taught me where you put like a lighter shade underneath and then you pack the previous shade on over it, and it makes it like lighter and brighter. And so this just makes it a little bit more, just a little less like straight up like that orangey color. Makes it a little bit brighter. And now I'm gonna go, because we've already done like most of her face, I can go ahead and do the bottom lash line. And I'm picking up Flesh and Titania again with a stiff pencil brush, and I just start buffing this underneath. Pick up that black shade one more time from the Sephora Pro palette. I mean, any black will do. You don't have to make it this black. So I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Avenue Part Princess bronzer. Okay, and now I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, what is this? Color Icon Blush in Mellow Wine. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using, where is this at? Then for a highlight, I'm going to be using Whimsical by Tarte. This is in their Blush Bazaar palette. If you don't have it, sure, any white goldy highlight is going to work for you. Okay, and now I'm going to put on some mascara, and then I'm going to put on, I got these Ardell Foam Ink lashes. These are in 811. They're quite flared on the edges. I don't know if you can tell if it's up doing this glare. It's like really flared on the edge. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know. I saw these, and all the other ones just looked like my lashes. Like they didn't, and my lashes aren't that great. And I don't want lashes just to look like my lashes exactly, because that kind of defeats the purpose of wearing them. So I'm gonna put on some mascara and these lashes, and then I'll be right back. I actually really love the way that these came out. They kind of like flare out, like kind of elongate, and I feel like just kind of accentuates the whole makeup look, because it doesn't cover up like the middle where all like the main color is, but it fans out right at the edges. I mean, I wouldn't say that they look super natural, but I really like how it kind of like cat-eyed, like flicks them out a lot. So I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Lippy in, this isn't a lippy because their lippy sticks are like an actual stick. This is one of their liquid lipsticks. I think it's an ultra satin lip from what I can read on the side, because it's so faded. Sorry, the glue is lifting. This is in the shade Strut. I may end up going in with another color, I don't know. Kind of like how this color pairs with the eye, just because it gives it a little bit something different. It's not just like same old. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I really like it. I really like how this makeup look turned out. It looks a little bit different than what I normally do, I guess. I don't know, maybe it doesn't to you, but it looks different to me. So anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will see y'all next time. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It would mean the world to me if you clicked on that subscribe button and join my little family here. I upload, or I try to, every Monday and Friday. And if not, I try to get up at least 2 videos every week. Alright, bye y'all. See y'all next time.